Hey guys, again, this is Big Steph, man, yours truly for a new podcast episode. And guess what? If I tell you I'm going to do something, then I do it, right? Because I give my word, right? And man can only be as real as the word he's bound by, and I'm bound by my word, right? So that's why I often don't give it, but once I give it, I do what I say I will do. So here it is, the podcast about job skill, right? Because I had a place where I told some friends about what I was doing and how I was able to, transition in 6 months, when before that I was trying to transition for a year. I was trying to transition for a year and I couldn't so. And they were like, yeah, man, tell us what you did. And I was like, okay, I will go ahead and put in a podcast. So here it is, man. And I have talked about it before in the podcast, right? So I talk a lot more about culture, right? Where the name cultural awareness, right? But at the same time, I also like to give advice, and support my brothers and sisters out there that are struggling through life and are trying to decide what they are going to do with their lives. So I'm not saying that you should necessarily do it, but I will highly, highly, highly recommend you do some of the stuff I will mention in this podcast, right? This episode, if out of everything, if you are not interested in culture and all that, but you want to succeed in life, you should listen to this podcast episode, because I might have some gem as far as job skill that you will want to do to change your life within the next 6 months. And some of them are as little as 3 months, right? So let's get right down to it, right? So, do you find yourself struggling? Do you find yourself not knowing what to do, and you don't really know what job skill you fit in, and it's very hard on you on life, and you are like, man, what am I doing with my life? I'm lost. And even if you are 50 years old, you can literally do this, right? And I'm not speaking like a guru. I know when I say, do you find yourself struggling, sounds like a commercial. Do you have both eyes? Of course, there you do. It's like, I guess, do you blink? Things like that. But no, it's not like that. I know I'm making it a little bit funny, but I think I might have something that is good for you guys. So, yesterday, I decided to go ahead and meet with my old-time friends, right? A friend that I was with in college. She was in a business school, and I was actually was also, because that time I was also doing business, but I also have another degree in international affairs, which is actually my main degree before, I went to the business school. Just that I finished school early, so to play football, I had to take another degree, so I went ahead and did business. And that's where we met. We met before that, but that's where we started taking classes together, international business and all those good stuff, accounting, was it finance? No, accounting and what is that other thing? Marketing and all. Anyway, business school, all those stuff. And when we met there, we, obviously, why am I bringing her up? Because when we were catching up, I didn't know she was in the IT field, and she didn't know I was in the IT field, right? So yesterday I was like, oh, what have you been doing lately? And she's like, oh, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. I was like, man, what? You're a cybersecurity engineer? She's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm a Scrum Master. We were like, what? You're also in IT? So it's like the job we are doing right now, it's not even... This is amazing. God works in mysterious ways, man. The job we are doing right now is not even it's like years away related to our degree, but somehow we are doing it. And to be honest, we are successful at it, right? So I thought that why not bring it on the podcast, right? So the number one thing that you have to do in order for you to change your life is find a skill job. I don't know who you are, what you do. If you don't read and you don't try to get a skill, you will not be able to change your life. It's not lottery. You just don't sit around, play some number. I mean, I do it sometime as well, but I have a job right now, right? So you just don't sit around and play a lottery and all of a sudden you got skills. No. So the number one thing to do is to first deciding that you want to change your life from where you are to a better life. I don't know who inspire you. Find that person or whatever, and go ahead and get a skill to be able to change your life, right? Now, when you got a skill, obviously you apply for jobs at that time, but the number one thing is you got to want to do it. I keep saying the number one thing. You have to want to do it. You have to want to change your life. And on top of that, you have to get a skill, right? The first step is to get a skill. What are you good at? What is it that you are good at? And sometime in life, you don't necessarily have to do what you are good at because, yeah, it's good to be happy, but happiness ain't never paying no bills. So at some time, you have to get down and dirty and grind, man. Like everybody talk about being rich, or becoming rich, but nobody wants, not nobody. Some people don't want to do the hard work. It takes some hard work, man, and dedication. So I decided to go ahead in this podcast and tell you some few jobs that I know for a fact will change your life within the next 6 months. I repeat, within the next 6 months, you can change your life. We are talking IT field, and please do not let the term IT, informational technology, scare you, right? Because I used to be like that as well. May I remind you, I don't code. I don't know how to code. I decided that I actually want to learn to code, but I kept pushing it ahead of time because I got other things going on that I'm doing. But to be honest with you, do not let the term IT fool you. Do not think it's only for other people. It's for everybody. If you put your mind into it, you want to grind, you will be successful at it. And I'm telling you, make this year 2022 be the year you decide to make the change. Change your life. And how do you change your life is by getting a skill. Once you get a skill, even, you sharpen your skill after that. And so I don't want to keep you waiting because I've been talking a lot. So the number one thing I would recommend for you to do is go out there and get what is called a Scrum Master certification. Scrum comes from a rugby term, right? Scrum, coming together, If you ever watch a rugby where they come together, it's called Scrum, right? So that is the number one thing, and that is actually what I am. Yeah, what I am. Like, I am a Scrum Master. I won't tell you the company, but I am a Scrum Master. So that is the number one thing I would recommend. Why? Because I'm going from easiest to hard, to not hard, but to more like focus-minded, right? So the number one thing is Scrum Master. Why is Scrum Master? Because you can become a Scrum Master in literally like a month and a half to 2 months. It doesn't take that. It's not that hard. You can become it and change your life and be in a 6-figure job. Like, do not let the IT term fool you, right? And whenever you feel like giving up, just know that within the next 2 months, you'll be done with it. You'll be sharp, you will be skilled, and you will be making 6-figure. How do you do it? Well, there's a website, and they did not pay me. Anyway, I guess this is free commercial for them. It's called scrum.org. You go Scrum, SCRUM, scrum.org. You can just go on that website, study the Scrum Guide of 2020 because they came out with a new version. It's only a book of 13 pages. And it's free. Guess what? It's free to download. You download it for free. You read it. It's 13 pages. The first time you will read it, if you never been in IT before, it will make no sense. Not because of there's no skill in there. There's no this is how you write code. Like, none of it, because as a Scrum Master, you do not write the code, right? Once you get into it, you will understand that you are what we call a servant leader, right? So the number one thing, like I said, is Scrum Master. You are a servant leader. You put the team together. You coach the team. You remove what we call roadblocks for the team. You set all the meetings. You go in there depending on the software that you guys use. Some people use Azure Devops, and some people use Jira, right? Jira is made by a company called Confluence. So if you know how to use that tool and software, it's made by a company named Atlassian. So they have two software that they use. It's called Jira and it's called Confluence, which are the most popular software that most company will use, right? If you can sharpen your skill to know how to use Jira, just kind of like people can use Excel, this is the same thing. It's almost like that, but you don't run the number. There's no numbers that you run or anything like that. You just have to know what his backlog is, what his sprint is, and where you put items, right? When the team is like, "Well, we want to work this, we want to prioritize this," you just go ahead and you put it by prioritization. And guess what? The machine does it for you. You just have to know where to press. That is called a Scrum Master. Literally, in 2 months, after you get your certification, you start applying. In 2 months, literally, like I'm not even exaggerating, in 2 months, you can be making six figure. Because guess what? Most of the job that I get right now, they're offering like 45 to 50 an hour. So you can literally do that. That is that is a free gem, because you guys been following my podcast and maybe you guys be asking question and you guys want to change your life. Free gem. Take it and go, right? Take it and go, right? Like Russell Peter used to say, take it and go. So take it and go, because that job is easy to do. You just have to be good at it. Sharpen your skill and you get in. Right? At the beginning, don't look so much at I'm only getting 45 and now guess what? It's more than most the normal people make in America. So that is where usually I see jobs beginning at 45 to 50 an hour, right? That is the custom way I see people doing it, right? So some people obviously make more, but that is how I started. So, again, that was Scrum Master. Number 2 job. There's actually is two in two, right? So the number 2 job I will recommend is AWS Solution Architect. Do not let the big word fool you, please. Again, do not let the big word fool you. Because I know some of you guys are going to be asking, well, what am I going to do with the AWS Solution Architect? Well, let me tell you. Have you heard of that thing called the cloud? Who do you think designed it? It's those people. You do not need mathematics or anything like that. Just understand the concept and you will be able to do it. You do not write code. I repeat, you do not need to know how to write code with AWS Solution Architect, because I know somebody right now that is actually doing it, and they are quite good at it. They are like, oh, this is nice, this is easy. That one will take you a little bit more time. It might take you about 3 months to 4 months. Some people do it in 3, but I have come to realize most people do it in 4 months. AWS Solution Architect. Remember that. People designing the cloud. Now, what does AWS stand for? It stands for Amazon Web Service, right? Amazon Web Service. And Amazon is recruiting a bunch of people. They are literally looking for all those people out there, and you'll be making six figure right away for 4 months. You don't need a college degree. Let me put it like that. Like all these jobs that I'm listing, it's not something that you necessarily need a college degree with, right? A lot of companies are literally doing it, and it's very rare for a company to ask you, do you have a college degree or whatnot? Like, no, like it's a skill level job. If you are good at it, you are just good at it, right? It's like you don't need a skill to go out there and be a car salesman, but hey, you better know how to talk to people. You got to sharpen your skill. You got to know how to approach the customer. Same thing with AWS. You don't need necessarily a degree to go do it. Out of high school, at 18 years old, you can do it. 16, 17, you can do it. That is how easy it is, and you will be making six-figure job, right? That is number 2. Number 3, still on the same field, AWS Devops. Now, here you need to think a little bit, right? And here you need to know a little bit how to write syntax, but it's not code. It's just a proper language dedicated to that type of field level, right? It's a little bit harder than the solution architect, but trust me, I know some friends that are AWS for Amazon right now, DevOps, making $250,000. Just so you know, you can do that in literally 4 to 6 months. Literally, in 4 to 6 months, you can be making that kind of money, $200,000 to say the least. It depends obviously on the company you end in, because some company they might offer you 150,000, which is still good. We're talking about 6-figure job here. Do you see how likely I'm talking about it? Man, you can literally change your life. AWS DevOps, right? You become a DevOps engineer on AWS. You are here designing cloud, man. And guess what? You meet with people. They tell you what the problem is. You can analyze where the issue are, and you go out there and do your thing. As far as the cloud is concerned, it's not that hard, but you have to be willing to do it. You have to want it, because trust me, you kick at life and life kicks back, man. My coach, Coach McIntyre, shout out to FIU. Is it FIU? Yeah, Florida International University. Yeah, that's where he went. He's now the head coach out there. He used to say this, in life, you're either getting better or getting worse. Nothing stays the same, man. So you got to find a way to get better with your skill job level. Find one of these job, and you will come and thank me later on. And by the way, I'm not asking for your money, but hey, just give a shout out. Say like, hey, this dude advised us with his thick ass African accent, and we listen, and here we are changing our life. Don't let the IT term fool you, right? Because I used to say I don't know how to code. I don't know how to code. I still don't know how to code, right? I'm trying, but I still don't. But what I do doesn't require coding, and it's quite easy to do. You got to understand this concept. You got to understand the skill level that you need to have. There are some software you have to learn, just like you learning Excel, just like you learn how to use Microsoft Word. And you're typing in it, you might say that word is too easy. No. Some people don't know how to use it. And it's out there available for everyone to have access to. There are some free one online. Same thing with Jira, same thing with Confluence. You learn those type of software, it's easy to become a Scrum Master, and you learn the skill level to be a solution architect, to be an AWS DevOps. It's easy for you to do that. Making 6-figure, traveling. Don't you wish to travel with your wife, family, kids, and still walk abroad? Because all you will need, frankly, to be honest with you, is internet. You have internet, you can do it. Internet will, anywhere around the world. I know, most of my friends, not friends, but I have a lot of developers that are in India. Like they have the American citizenship, but they are living in India, cruising through these, jobs level, or they are living in, how do you call it? I was with EMEA, so some people in Europe, London, Paris, Ireland, they are out there. They have some of them have American citizenship, but they choose to go out there because it's a great life, man. When your job is done, and then you go hang around with your family, and most of them you work from home. So go ahead and take the step this year of 2022, and within the next 4 months, before September's out here, you already changed your life, and you will be on the right path, to becoming successful. Now, I was saving one of the craziest one for last. The last one. This one will take you 6 months. But after 6 months, trust me, whatever you're making right now and not making a lot of money, you might be able to either double or maybe triple it. It's called, are you ready? Dun, dun, dun. Are you ready? It's called cyber security. That, my friends, is the job of the future. Hacking happens all the time. Hacking will never stop. We need people. We literally are begging people to come in cybersecurity, man. And do not be fooled like thinking cybersecurity is just sitting around and watching tape or camera. That is not it. I have my friend that I met with yesterday is a cybersecurity engineer. And trust me, she make a good living. You can be that too. Let this podcast inspire you to be great. Go out there. Go look everything about cybersecurity. Choose your field. I gave you about 4 jobs out there. Number 1, Scrum Master. Number 2, AWS Solution Architect. AWS again stands for Amazon Web Service. Number 3, AWS DevOps. And finally, cybersecurity. those jobs will pay you great amount of money within the next 6 months. All of them. Cybersecurity, for sure, you have to do it for 6 months. But the other one, you can do in like little as 4 months. It depends on your grind. It depends on, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to take that step to be successful? If you are, great, because this job will help you make 6 figures within the next 6 months. Man, I wish I could literally have a seminar where I can teach this, man. Like, you need to have a skill in life. Now, if you're already comfortable in your life and you don't want to switch, great. This is for people that are literally out there stuck, right? Where you are like, you're back against the wall. By the way, you should listen to my inspirational, motivational speech. You should listen to my motivational speech where I talked about it, like what happened to me, how I had my back against the wall and I was able to find a way. You, my friend, can change your life today. My brother, my sister, wherever you are, who you are, you can change your life today, man. You have to put your mind into it. You have to want to do it. You have to want to change your life. And the first step is sharpen your skill, man. Get a skill job. Like, you cannot just, I guess, you cannot just sit around and think success will come and find you that way. You have to go get success. And like Snoop Dogg said, if you believe in if you believe in success, you must be believing in the stress. Getting successful is not easy. But trust me, with those 4 jobs I just gave to you, that is my gift to you for 2022. And when you do it, please give a shout out, because those jobs paid and people are wanted. I get job offers like literally like every week. People say like, "Hey, do you want to switch? Do you want to do this?" Like, no, like gotta get a skill level. Go out there, get you a job skill in one of those areas. I'm not saying that other areas are not as successful, but I can only speak from the field that I'm in. And right now, I don't code or anything like that, and I'm successful at it. It depends on what you mean by successful. I'm successful because I can hang with family and do the job that I actually like, right? At the beginning, I didn't necessarily like it. I started because I had my back on the wall, but now I am for sure glad I'm doing it. I'm for sure happy that I'm doing it. And you too, my friend, you can do it. Go out there and just grind, man. Go out there and do it. Get you that skill level. And soon, you will be one of the people saying like, yes, that dude was saying the truth. It was easy. That being said, man, if you like anything that I said, please follow me on IG, BSteph77. Like I said, Beast, the Beast, Beast, Steph, STEPH77 on IG, man. Follow my page, follow my Facebook, follow my Twitter, Please follow me everywhere and feel free to leave comment. And if this podcast inspire you, please feel free to go ahead and let it be known so that somebody out there that is struggling can also go and change their life. That being said, I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate everything you guys are doing toward like making me, putting me on the map out there. I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you very much for everything that you guys are doing. God bless. Big Steph.